So now that we have our chicken marinating in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and make our homemade shawarma flatbread. Now, for those of you who don't want to make the bread at home, you can just go down to your local grocery store and buy flat tortillas. Those work very well. So now I'm going to start off with our homemade shawarmas. I love to make homemade shawarmas because they're fresh, they're beautiful, they're fluffy, and they just taste so good cooking from the heart. So here we go. We're going to put in our flour about, depending on how many people you're feeding. I'm going to make about 6 shawarmas. So in that, I will put about 6 level or heaped teaspoons of flour. That goes in. I'll actually put a little bit more in there. That's about 12 heaped tablespoons of flour. Alright, and after we put that in, we're going to go ahead and put in our baking powder. Now, most people make shawarmas using yeast and baking powder, but if you don't want to have to do the whole waiting time of the dough to rise, baking powder works just as well. And I'm putting in about a teaspoonful of baking powder. Once that has been done, we are going to then put in about 2 pinches of salt. That's 1 and 2. Don't go too heavy with the salt with the shawarma flatbread because you already have salt in the other ingredients in the chicken. So don't go too heavy on that, especially for your blood pressure. You gotta watch that. We're also going to put in some sugar. Sugar gives it a nice little sweet and sour taste. We're putting in about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. And that goes in. And those are our dry ingredients. We're now going to go on and put in some margarine. You can use Blue Band. You can use butter. But I'm using margarine, a Kenyan brand called Blue Band, which all of us have grown up with here in Kenya. Wonderful brand. And I'm going to put about 100 grams of margarine into our flour. I'm going to follow that up by using a little bit of oil, not too much. Again, we've got to watch our cholesterol. As you grow older, you got to watch your cholesterol. And that goes in as well. So that's our oil, about 2 tablespoonfuls of oil. A lot of people always ask me when I'm cooking, do you have measurements? Do you have a measuring machine? I cook with instinct, so I know how much to put, how much not to put. When you're cooking with love, you know what to do. So here we go. We're now going to put in a little bit of warm water, lukewarm. I just had it for just a little bit. And I use a fork to start to bring the dough together. I just use my fork to cut in to the margarine. Just like that. And as it starts to combine, I then add a little bit more warm water. And that goes in. And you can see that it's starting to come together. It's starting to come together a little bit more. Don't put everything in at the same time, because if you do that, you'll end up with a stodgy, bit sticky mess. So just take your time and put it in a bit at a time. Don't rush to cook. Cooking is a wonderful thing. Don't rush to do it. Just take your time and do it the way that you want to do it. And so there's a little bit more warm water. The reason why I'm using warm water is because warm water and flour processes the gluten in the flour quicker, making it more elastic and more better to handle. And it also tastes better once you're cooked with